2,000 vaccinated people will be allowed into the stadium when Bafana Bafana take on Ethiopia this evening. For more on that story, we welcome our sports news reporter, Lebohang Dube. Or should I say Lebohang Dube? Lebohang. Thank you so much for joining us, Lebohang. This match is not only important for sports reasons, is it?
It's a significant match, historic after 18 months, 19 months without fans at any sporting event in the country. I think for football and sports in general in the country, I think this is a historic, significant moment, especially for Bafana Bafana at a crucial stage where they are fighting to qualify for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. It comes, I think the timing is perhaps perfect. When you look that they played well in Ethiopia away from home, they come back motivated, extra inspiration with fans coming to the stadium, and I think it will be a good game for Bafana Bafana and for the country as well.
Lebohang, I just want to keep you on hold and see if we can get a call from Alex from Limpopo. Alex, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm on the line, Desiree.
What do you want to say?
What I want to say is that, Desiree, that 2,000 is overload in the stadium, but all the supporters, they must have themselves the certificate to show themselves that they are vaccinated. Remember, we have got a lot of people from, I can say, the refugee. Those need not go to vaccine. They refuse to go there.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
I'm with you, and it's interesting that you say 2,000 is overload. Lebohang, what do you think about that? We've consistently been getting calls saying that 2,000 is too little, and this caller says it's overload.
When you look at the capacity of S&P Stadium, it takes 90,000 plus fans. That's the capacity of the stadium, and I think with 2,000 it is reasonable to have them at tonight's game. And remember that this is a start of gradually bringing fans to the stadium. When you look at the protocol or the admission to the game, you need to produce identification or vaccination card. So I think 2,000 is a reasonable number to spread, around the arena for a stadium that takes 90,000 people. So the 2,000 is reasonable. The only concern perhaps is that SAFA and stadium management have identified just one gate where fans will enter, which will be gate M. So that will get to be seen whether that will be safe enough, or whether it will be enough. It will give fans enough time to go into the stadium. But I think with the experience that stadium management has, and together with SAFA hosting matches at the arena, I think they would have looked at that, and I think they would have taken a decision based on the experience of previous experience, where perhaps a gate does take perhaps 2,000 and more people at a time to enter the stadium.
Lebohang, do we know of any more information coming out from SAFA in terms of processes, who may come and who may not, and the cutoffs, just in terms of control, because there's worries about an overrun?
I think the information that has come through, and I think that is the information that we got as well from yesterday, is that people that had the desire to attend the stadium would have had to register to get an electronic ticket, which will be used to enter the stadium. As I mentioned as well, that you need to produce identification. You also need to produce your vaccination card, and I think those are the people that will be allowed to enter the stadium. Obviously, we know from history that people do then tend to take chances and to try and get to the stadium. But I think there'll be strict measures. I think law enforcement will be enough to ensure that it is the 2,000 that have registered, that have got the tickets to enter the stadium, that will be allowed to enter the stadium. I don't foresee much problems at the stadium this evening.
We're now joined by Mr. Makoba from Soweto. Mr. Makoba, will you be attending the match?
Yes, dear, I will. But now the problem is one. my dear, is very, very sad thing that we must, they must allow only 2,000. 2,000 is just like 200. There's people are suffering. People who are selling food outside, they don't gain anything. You know, this at least this 19 months or 20 is very crucial for us. There's 2,000, it's nothing. One is so can make about about 10,000 or 9,000. Thank you, Des, for having me. You are very, very sweet. Thank you.
Lebohang Dube. Lebo, that's a very...
One is so compona who goes for didn't I tell Muhulu now nearly Auswaka.
Oh my word. Oh,
Thank you, my darling.
Lebo, Ndate Makhoba brings up such an important aspect, and I don't know if we have any information on this. Are vendors allowed already?
At the SABC stadium, we know that it is a stadium that approves for vendors, their own vendors, to come through to sell their goods. But when I look at the information that came through from SAFA, is that no food or drinks will be allowed inside the stadium as well. No vuvuzelas will be allowed. So I'm guessing that the vendors will not be allowed to come and sell their food or drinks. But perhaps those that would normally sell outside, some merchandise, will probably be there to sell their merchandise outside of the stadium. And it is an important, statement from the gentleman, because that is some of what has been a concern for many of the vendors who sell food and who sell merchandise, that COVID-19 and with no fans attending the stadium, it has really killed their business. And hopefully, with the return of fans gradually, they'll also be allowed to come and sell their merchandise.
Yeah, I like that point that Ndate Makhoba makes about the profit margins when there are only 2,000 people coming through and you can't be guaranteed of sales from them. But let's just talk about the match itself, a World Cup qualifier. South Africans very pleased with Bafana Bafana's recent performance, but we can't take this match for granted, can we?
Definitely. Yes, we can't take this match for granted. Bafana Bafana have started really well, and at 3 points again this evening will put them on 10 points. It gives them even a better chance of qualifying for the playoffs, which will only be 10 countries. The top countries from each group will then play the playoffs, which will decide the 5 teams that will represent the continent at the World Cup. But it has been a good start. Can't take this game for granted. Can't underestimate Ethiopia. Ethiopia, have proven as well that they are a side that can compete. They were able to get a result against Zimbabwe at home. Zimbabwe also on paper, you look at the type of players and the names on the starting list or the squad names, you can see that it's top players that ply their trade in South Africa. So when you look at the performance that Ethiopia gave against Zimbabwe, coming to South Africa, I don't think South Africa should underestimate their opponents. And when you look at the previous match as well as how Ethiopia played, in the first half and in the second half, just lapse of concentration, with the 2 late goals that came through, you can see that it's a team that is willing and determined to compete. And I think South Africa and Hugo Bruce and his players are quite aware of that fact.
Let's take a call now from George, coming from Emalahleni. A very good day to you, George. Do we still have George on the line?
Yes.
A very good morning to you, George. What's on your mind this morning?
Yeah.
We don't seem to have a good line with George. I think we will try him again later. We have another caller. I'm not sure what their name is, but let's welcome them in. Caller, a very good morning to you. All right, we seem to be struggling a bit with our callers, which is unfortunate because we really want to know what they have to say. But Lebo, just looking forward to that match, what sort of preparations has Hugo Bruce put in place against Ethiopia?
In the press conference yesterday, one of Bafana Bafana's defenders, Rushin Derek, who plays for Mamelodi Sundowns, did mention that they will be even better prepared for this particular encounter. You know, he noted that the traveling to Ethiopia was quite hectic for the team, and then this time around playing on a field that they are used to, at the SABC stadium, they should be better prepared. They should be able to control the ball much better as compared to the pitch they were playing in Ethiopia, which was not smooth, quite bumpy, at times difficult for the players to control the ball. So coming to this match, I think Bafana Bafana will be better prepared as compared to the last match against Ethiopia, where they managed to get a 3-1 result. But I also think that Ethiopia would be as well just as prepared, because they know what to expect from Bafana Bafana following that defeat this past weekend.
Well, we can safely say that the people of Emalahleni are watching this morning, because here's another caller from there. Ndewo, a very good morning to you. What's on your mind?
Desiree, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm here regarding the 2000 issue. I mean, from every angle which you can look on it, it just doesn't make sense. Even if you're looking at it at a sports point of view, you can't be a football fan when there are only 2,000 people. I mean, you can't even sing, and there's not much support there to push the boys. And even if you're looking through it through the health issue, man, those are 2,000 vaccinated people. The risks there are already limited. FNB is a big stadium. At least if we could say maybe 30,000, that would make sense. I mean, I don't really understand what SAFA was thinking, saying 2,000 people. This is going to lead to people bribing security guards so they get in. This always happens in South African stadiums. It's an issue which I think SAFA might just have to look into it.
Lebo, that concern coming up again, especially soccer fans are aggrieved, especially watching those international matches and seeing those half-full stadiums. How is the soccer fraternity engaging government on this further?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Oh, have we let Lebo go? Lebo, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still on the line.
I'm just saying that this complaint is coming up yet again. Soccer fans being aggrieved about this, and especially with those international soccer matches that they watch and they see half-full stadiums, and they're thinking, why isn't the soccer fraternity engaging government further on this limitation?
Desiree, I think government will, SAFA will engage government further on this matter after perhaps this game, or maybe after a few games. Remember as well that SAFA was guided by the amendments made by government for the 2,000 spectators. So, and I think, as I said earlier on, that because it's a gradual, this is perhaps a test just to gradually bring the football fans back to the stadium to see how it works, whether it does work or whether it does not, and to look at to also analyze the risk thereof in bringing the fans back to the stadiums. But I think with today's match, it is fair to say that the 2,000 fans, it will be fair for stadium management and for the South African Football Association to be able to manage the number of fans and for the stadium to be able to handle that capacity this evening.
Lebo, we're going to let you go now, but please just give us the details once again of the match this evening.
The match played at the FNB Stadium. The kickoff is at 6 o'clock. Fans are obviously encouraged to come in early to be able to pass through that gate M and be able to be seated before kickoff. So they will need to bring the identification, bring in the vaccination, bring also the vaccination card and also the electronic ticket from the registration to attend the match.
Now, I want to ask you this. At the beginning of the conversation, I tried to hype you up by saying Lebohang Dube, and you ignored me. Why? Thank you so much for talking to us, Lebo.
Thank you, Desiree.
Okay, I think we have Mangena now. Mangena, a very good day to you. What are your thoughts about this conversation?
Very much good, and thanks.
Hi, Mangena, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm with you, Des.
Yes, what are your thoughts about this conversation that we're having?
In fact, I'm very much 100% but on condition
that whoever gets into the stadium is vaccinated. So
That is the
I think
condition. That is the condition.
Yeah, on condition, yeah, whoever gets inside the stadium is vaccinated. I think I'm positive with the move.
Are you anticipating when soccer physical attendance will be coming to Limpopo as well?
It's what we want.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
I will be very much hesitant and appreciate if that could be possible, even in Limpopo.
Mangena, thank you so much for talking to us, and our producers are making efforts now to reach out to stadium officials just to get a clearer indication of the logistics and how things will be done this evening in that match between Bafana Bafana and Ethiopia World Cup qualifier. So we hope Bafana Bafana will come out victorious, of course.